All right.
Living how you living.
Yes, we're good to go now. Relationship flow, folks. Thank you for your patience. We've had some technical difficulties, but we have straightened them out. How's everybody doing tonight?
Doing good. How are y'all?
I'm good. I'm good. Daryl, you okay over there? So how you been, Camp? What you sipping on tonight?
Water, as of right now.
Really?
It might change later.
Okay.
My alkaline water.
Okay. Okay. All right.
That's it.
Daryl?
I'm doing good.
Daryl? How you doing? What you sipping on?
Yes. You do what?
You sipping on yes? Is that a new beverage?
He said yes.
You okay, Daryl?
Yeah.
Look at that face.
His face is kind of stuck, I think.
Yes, I think he is stuck.
That's better. But
Okay.
I might be. This reception is crazy out here.
Yeah,
This
we can
reception is
tell.
crazy out here.
We
I think
can
it's the worst
tell.
reception.
How are
I had, I
you?
had, I had, I got about 2 bars, and that's a max. I'm good.
Okay. Okay.
I'm good.
Are you sipping on anything?
No, some dry air.
oh, I forgot.
Okay. Nice. Yes. Yes.
I got it off the toddler aisle.
Okay. All right. We are like 16 minutes in. Are there any news stories or current events besides Philadelphia being underwater?
right.
Never seen
Oh,
anything like this in my whole life.
I have
No,
not
I haven't really
either.
heard much.
Go
Go
ahead,
ahead.
Joy. Joy.
Oh, the only thing I found crazy today was over this mask mandate. Uh, when the principal told the father, your son has a quarantine. So what he did, he said no. He came up to the school. He had his two men from his entourage and himself. They came with zip ties to assault the principal with zip ties.
Oh my
And
goodness.
I thought it was the craziest thing ever.
That is really crazy. Where was this at?
This was, if I'm not mistaken, it was, I think, Texas.
Texas?
It's like weird things happening in Texas and California.
Okay.
But
Oh.
that was interesting. The zip ties though, I was like, that's a weapon. I never really thought about that. But
Mm-hmm.
of course, it was from the
Yeah,
at a
yeah,
elementary
you
school.
can use them to assault someone. So
Well, you
Yeah,
tie
I
them up.
tie
mean,
them up,
You don't
hold them
assault them with it.
hostage.
You
That's
tie
an
them up
assault.
so you can assault them. You can assault them while they can't assault you back.
Yes. Yes, it's a threat. Oh my gosh. That's crazy.
and son had to quarantine for 10 days because he was around somebody who was positive in his classroom. It was another like a
Mm,
female, and so everybody in the class is quarantined for 10 days. And he was like, my son would do no such thing. But the fact that he brought two like heavy hitters with him, two other men, along with his son, back up to the school, and was in the
mm-mm,
principal's office with zip ties, about to like, and he didn't want to leave the premises. They had to get security and report it and get
mm-mm.
no.
Wow. Did they arrest him?
No, he didn't get arrested because he eventually left campus. But now he's like barred from campus, of course, and his son
Mm-hmm.
still has to quarantine the 10 days.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yeah, so
So,
you did all of that and your son still has to follow the rules.
and you can't be on campus, and it makes your child. It's embarrassing for your child.
Mm-hmm.
Bring two of your two of your boys with zip ties to assault the principal because you
That's a
don't know
mess.
what he said, and it was he was working with the principal was going off the word of the local health department official, the local health official. So he had
Mm-hmm.
to follow what the county the
Mhm.
municipality was saying.
Mhm.
And those are
Mhm.
the policies.
Mhm.
When you've
Yeah.
been
Same thing with flying. I mean, if you don't want to follow the rules, don't fly. That's all.
oh, when you mentioned flying, from the other persuasion, she had a fake vaccine card. Everything was fine, but she spelled Moderna wrong.
Moderna.
So
Mhm.
instead of putting MO, she put MA. So that's how she got caught. She's gonna probably go to
Moderna.
Hawaii, $5,000 fine, and she'll probably be She'll probably be jailed for a year. They said
Mhm. Mhm.
going to
Yeah.
Hawaii.
Good for her. Good for her. Like, come on now. I don't understand.
Google that.
I don't understand it. It's ridiculous. Just stay home.
So that's how she got caught. She spelled it with an A instead of an O.
You don't even know what you're doing. Mm-mm-mm.
They
I,
probably looking at the card like,
that's why you got what? Oh, and then with the fake vaccination cards, somebody she had a Twitter handle, but she has a lot of followers, like millions of followers,
Mhm.
million followers,
Mhm.
and she got caught selling vaccination cards for $200 a piece.
What?
So now she sold about 20. So now the government is coming for her and the people who bought them from her.
Of course.
And
Of
the
course.
pastor in Mississippi that is selling exemption
how would
letters
they know who bought them?
because one of her followers did an investigation.
Mm.
She was posting vaccination. How dumb can you be? Why do you post vaccination cards? Said that you need one. I got them here.
That's
200.
crazy.
So people are telling on themselves. And then a chiropractor
Mhm.
in Mississippi, he's making money not from seeing patients, but since he wrote one exemption letter and signed it for
Mhm.
like a K through 12 student to not
Mhm.
have to take the vaccine. Parents are lined up outside his office around the corner. It's like in a plaza. They're
Mhm.
$100 for a signature and taking it to the school. So he's making money in Mississippi just off of his signature. He's a
So
chiropractor.
are there are those schools mandating kids over 12 to have the vaccine?
Yes,
Mm.
in parts of
Mm.
Mississippi, yes. But what's happening
Okay.
is anybody can, like, if you're a physician assistant, nurse practitioner, or MD, DO, chiropractor, anything of even a physical therapist at the doctor level, they can sign off on it. So whatever doctor you can find, or a psychiatrist, psychologist to sign off on it. That's what people are doing. They're paying $100 to $200 for a signature.
Mm-mm-mm. Wow.
So yeah, that's a laugh. Doc, you on mute. Doc, I can't.
Yeah, we can't hear you.
We can't hear you. You still on mute.
Any other current events?
Um. Well, that's.
Sorry about that. Any other? Yeah. Anything else
I just think
going on?
nothing is
Oh,
currently
bless you.
my personal reactions.
Thank
That's
you.
me to go back home. So I had to I rode with my husband to work because he works in Philly. So we took we because we were living in the county, so we went through we end up by Chop and we went that way. South Shoe Bridge
Mhm.
was crowded going under, but the water was already up. But our side of 76 going into more so like Germantown, Northwest Philly,
Mhm.
clear, but they hadn't started blocking off stuff yet. But the water was like, it wasn't calm. It was still rising, but it was
Mhm.
the sound of water crashing. I said, "Oh no, I
Mm.
can't come back this way." My husband was like, "Oh, you can go back the other come back the same way." I couldn't because they had already started closing, so all those people on the highway was stuck for hours. So I
Mhm.
had to just take the go through Montgomery County in certain plots, past Chestnut Hill College and 476, and I don't know. I found my way back home. It took an hour and a half to get back home.
Oh gosh. Wow.
So it was just like, okay. So I left an hour and a half early, got me took me an hour to get back to his job, and took us over 2 hours to get back home. Just because and 476 was really the only thing that was really open as far as highways, like the whole thing. So in the other side of 95. But I was just kind of anxious the whole ride back because I was just like, yeah, I got this toddler with me and I'm just trying to get back home safe.
Yes.
So yeah. It was
How
just
are
something I
things?
had never seen.
Yeah, this is unprecedented in Philly.
Right.
Never seen anything like this before. South Philly, Center City looks crazy.
What part of South Philly?
I don't even know. I just saw on the news that they were showing where the water was like up almost to the top of the cars.
Oh, gotcha. Center City, yeah. Okay. I did
Yeah.
so because I know we're on the other side of the Delaware River, and people was like, "Are you okay?" Family was calling. I'm like, "It's dry over here. It's sunny and dry and hot." But just I was just like, "I'm gonna stay put." So, but the school district, it took them. They did a 2-hour delay, maybe 15 minutes before, like around 8:45, and I was like, everybody else cancel school or put something out 5 or 6 o'clock in the morning, not when after school starts. So that was
yeah.
So yeah.
And Daryl, you missed all of that, right?
Every bit of it.
You did? Okay, you just got back.
But it made it made national news because I saw it on the news out here. And it's crazy how it looked a lot so you think everything is crazy back there. So when I called home, most people were fine. Where I was fine. So I don't know anyone really that was hit by the damage. I know where the tornado touchdown was out by some family. They live right there. Somebody got their roof ripped off, but which was crazy to see an actual tornado, touch down in New Jersey was bananas. There's many videos. Everybody saw it. So yeah, it was. They weren't even smart enough to run. I'm not taping anything. I don't know. It might be coming my way. So
right. Yes.
Yeah.
But it's crazy. So I'm anxious to get back to see, what things look like and what's what. Check on the house. I've been going for a while.
I just tell people, like, if you've ever, I grew up with tornadoes, and I tell people I'd rather be in a hurricane any day because you have time in a hurricane. You do not with a tornado. Like, it can be clear and sunny and bright, and it's just touchdown, and you have no warning. So they can just be, I feel like they are more disastrous overall than hurricanes. Because they're pair more so, and then make your decision. So
yeah, it's been something else. It's been something else. So our topic tonight, guys. Our topic tonight is cancel culture. And do we cancel even when the message is true?
Yes.
Most of the time, you do get canceled for saying something right.
Yeah.
Cancel culture seems to be a way to silence people who are telling the truth. I think that it's not, to me, it's not even because, people can believe what you want, but you should be able to believe what you want as well. So if someone believes something that may be cool for them, if you believe opposite, you're not wrong. You shouldn't be canceled because you believe opposite of what someone else believes, right? It's just crazy.
Hey, Neil. What are some of the examples of people who have been canceled for telling the truth? And I guess the deeper question is, are these truths opinion or are they like real facts?
Mm. Hmm. I guess it just depends.
Hmm.
I just think of
Absolutely.
yeah, but when I think of culture in general, I think way back like Monica Lewinsky, for example. She until recently she's been getting beat up about this incident with Bill Clinton for forever, and
Yes,
people just
yes.
won't let it go.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and there are certain things that have happened, and she's been paying for it. And on one end, it's just made him like, in the eyes of America, he's still the greatest thing since sliced bread. Remember,
Yes,
they
he's
used to call him
uh-huh.
our first black president before Obama came
Yes,
along
yes,
because that's how we
yes.
felt as, as a black community. You
Yes, he
you
was
hear that
still the
all the time,
man.
right? He was
Mm-hmm.
still the man, and it was like
Mm-hmm.
but although they had video, like they had like they had the how they have the bug anyway. It's the White House. They had tape. They had certain
Mm-hmm.
witnesses. They had certain things that happened about the whole, whether it was a real relationship or not, by the
Mm-hmm.
incident about how it wasn't set, but whatever.
Mm-hmm.
It was just like, of course, he's the president, so they're gonna try to cover up, and the whole everything that went along with it. But
Mm-hmm.
she was
The impeachment.
impeachment, right? But she was tabloid meat. I was to say for over like it's been a while,
Yeah, yeah.
over two
It's
decades,
been a
like
long time.
almost 2 decades. So
Mhm.
I just feel like
Yeah.
it's at this point, like, where does it stop? Because I feel like it would have affected. I would think it would have affected what jobs she could get, like her
Mm-hmm.
career altogether, if she
Mm-hmm.
could live in peace.
Mm-hmm.
And every time, like when she came out with a book, when she tried to do things, they would always go back to Bill Clinton,
Yeah.
that situation. So
Remember
she
what
could
you
never,
did.
yeah, right. She could never escape that. So I think, yeah, that's the
Mm-hmm.
first person I think of, and then the next person
Mm-hmm.
I think of, is one of my favorite singers. And I know I wouldn't say this now. I can, I guess. She's been in rotation since I like the singer. Why is not? It's been a long day.
Who? You're not talking about Robert.
No,
Oh,
it'll come to me.
okay.
Michelle. Yeah, last name. It'll come to me. But yeah,
Okay. Okay.
yeah.
But you
So
know what? That the cancel culture and celebrity is really interesting to me
it is
because it it doesn't
contradictory.
it seem to depend on what the person did. It's
Yeah.
yeah, it's more about their status and whatever they're famous for. Like for Robert, it seemed like people just wouldn't cancel him.
Yeah.
They
And
wouldn't because they would always say, "Oh, he's a musical genius. He's he's a great musician." I don't know what that has to do with to do with
mm,
his behavior
so
with
so
these
now
young women.
so right now people are divided maybe in two
Mm-hmm.
or three ways because Drake
Mm-hmm.
album got released and he used the
Okay.
sample of Half on the Baby. Half on the
Okay.
He
Yeah.
used like
Yeah.
the violin sample, but
Mm-hmm.
okay, so say Drake worked with other producers or whatever. It doesn't matter if they took a snippet of that, whether he contributed to it not, it's part from original song. So they have to put him on. Like you have to
Mm.
give credit where credit is due, regardless if
Right. Right.
you took a
Right.
snippet.
Yes.
If they can
Yes.
hear it,
Yes.
because you don't want it to be another Robin Thicke and Ti situation with
Yes.
the Marvin Gaye and going through years of litigation about how the composition was too close to the original and
Mm-hmm.
how even though they was influenced and loved this music, you don't want that. So you just have
Mm-hmm.
to give due where it's due, regardless who it came from, like who wrote
Mm-hmm.
it, sang it, things of that nature. So everybody's like, why would Drake do that? Um, why would he put R. Kelly on like that? And it was
Mm.
like, well, even if he's not getting the money from it, it's going to debts and legal fees. But
Mm-hmm.
but it was like,
Mm-hmm.
why give Robert to come up? That's Twitter, like all over social media. And then with even with Kanye West, the Donda album, in terms of him inviting Marilyn Manson to be, he was a contributor on a couple of the songs or his album, and the litigation he's in, or the civil courses about just assault and rape when it comes to women. So that's controversial too. Like they was like, why give these quote unquote abusers, why give them this platform, even if it's not in money, but in more status? So, but I don't see Kanye or Drake being canceled. It's just fodder for like conversation,
right?
In terms of splitting fans and splitting, everybody has opinions. So I don't know. Is cancel culture more canceling of women than men?
That's an interesting.
In general, like across the board.
Yeah, that's interesting.
As far as celebrity, regardless of where you're from, what language you speak, I just want to hear about that.
Yeah, because there's no set rules for cancel culture.
Right.
Yeah, there's no, well, if you do this, we will cancel you. There's nothing set. It's if you do this and you are so and so, we will cancel you. But if you do this and you are somebody else, we won't.
Oh, now it comes to me, Chrisette Michelle. So my whole thing is, so she's been canceled for a while, but because people was like, after it happened, I had friends like, oh, I took her off. I don't listen to her no more. But I just love her music, and she's a real musician. Went to school like jazz, opera, like she's classically trained, and I feel like she's a genius. I feel like she's underrated, but she writes, produces, the whole nine. So I just think it sings wonderfully, but I just think she was canceled. But I think she was canceled because she wasn't truthful in the beginning. But her advisors told her, like people in her circle, like this is not good for the culture. But if you got bills to pay, they was paying a lot of money or a certain amount. So that's why she's saying it, Trump's inauguration. But I think if she had been truthful about like I need the money. But then you're a celebrity, you don't want nobody all in your business. Like, people like you celebrities, you should have money. What have you done with it? Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, you don't want people in your business. So where do you draw the line of being an open book? But if you've been an open book, like you can get canceled either way.
Yeah, because the all I kept hearing or seeing was all money's not good money. So she shouldn't have taken it. She should have stood, she shouldn't have crossed that line. But like you said, if you got bills to pay and somebody's offering you whatever he offered her, that's a hard decision for some people.
It was a substantial amount to keep her flowing. But then if people don't realize, people may not talk about it, but people are still listening to her music. They might not post it, but they're still streaming. And she had her own label at one point, like independent. So she's put out new stuff. She's been married, like she's gotten divorced, like she's lived her life, but she's still performing. So,
is she?
But people are like, but a lot of people have said, when are they going to uncancel her? But I feel like she still is in the canceled file.
She is. From what the last things I've seen, she is. She's still in the cancel lane. She is.
So yeah, she is. But I've seen her, like I follow her too. So she's been like posting, like she's at the airport, she's traveling. Even if she's not doing the bigger venues she was doing, she's doing, like smaller venues. She's still getting the paper. So sometimes you just gotta, it's a very slow crawl, then a walk or run back. But yeah, so I think that's what did the whole thing about the culture, because she wasn't upfront at first.
Yeah. So do you think it's more difficult for men to get canceled? I'm just thinking of that whole Christian Brown Rihanna thing. Even though I've seen the different arguments, that they were two adults and they got into a fight and not a big deal. And also the other side of him, saying he should never hit a woman, but I don't think he ever got really canceled. I think it was like a little controversy at first. And
it was, but he didn't get canceled.
Yeah.
Once he did. Yeah, I'm gonna think about that, because he's had other things after that.
Lots of things after that. He had lots of things after that. So, what do you what do you guys think, the listeners? You can chime in, make comments about this cancel culture thing, but I really do think that it depends on how much people like what you do.
Yeah, like people really like his music,
Mm-hmm.
and he's a really good entertainer. I
Mm-hmm.
mean, but he's also had other stuff that come up like overseas and like certain situations for assault. Uh,
Mm-hmm.
been blamed about for rape and just like
Mm-hmm.
allegations against
Mm-hmm.
women and other
Mm-hmm.
instances. So,
Mm-hmm.
like after that, that's been so it's 2020. So it's been 12 years since that incident happened with
Mm-hmm.
Rihanna, and
Mm-hmm.
so I just don't.
And
I'm
his career has flourished since
Yeah,
then.
I mean hers has too, but in a
Yeah.
different way. But his
Yes.
has
Yes.
really gone above and beyond it.
Yes. Yes.
Canceled where?
Right.
No,
Right.
I don't see it.
I think it all depends on if people like what you do.
Right. If it's popular or not. Even if you're saying something that's true and correct, and if people don't agree with it, you can get canceled. But if it's
Mm-hmm.
popular, even if you're doing something wrong and people like, well, he's a
Mm-hmm.
great artist.
Yes.
Gives money to
Yes.
this nonprofit. He helps kids with like then it's like that overshadows.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. I
And
agree. I agree.
Well, I mean, there's different levels of cancel,
Mm.
right?
mhm,
Some people may did something at one point were canceled, but you can come back from it. Canceling someone is not a death sentence in all cases.
Mm-mm.
Sometimes you may cancel somebody and then so many years down the road they could do something different and they could be welcomed back to society. We welcome you back.
Mm-hmm.
So
Mm-hmm.
it really depends on what you say or did or whatever the case may be. Just think about some comedians who said something 10, 15 years ago, and now it comes up,
mhm.
and they're like they try to cancel Kevin Hart for something he said years ago, which
Really? I missed
was
that
fine.
one.
Which Yeah, he said he made one of the gay jokes where he said I guess he beat his son with
Right, about a
a
sign.
Barbie house or something like that because he didn't want him playing with Barbies or something like that. So he said he beat him with the
Okay.
Barbie house.
Mhm.
Obviously, it's a joke. It came back and it was like a homophobic joke.
Uh,
But they tried to
okay.
cancel him for that. That's when he did that award show. He was
Remember
doing some
he
awards
was
that
supposed
he
to do the
won.
Oscars.
I can't. He going to host.
He's supposed
Okay.
to host
There it
the
is. He's supposed to
Oscars.
host the Oscars,
Right.
and then all this stuff came up, the jokes and some tweets, and
Mm.
he was like, that was then. I've grown
Mm-hmm.
from then. I'm not that person that I was then. I think he did apologize, but he's like, I'm not going to keep apologizing.
Right. But
So he said, I'm not going to take the job.
they wanted him to
Mm.
keep apologizing. It did when I watched this documentary on Netflix, it
Okay.
did kind of hit his bank account,
Ah.
but he recovered from it real quickly. But he had other projects in the works. But
Mm.
um when I watched it, one of his really good friends and one of his top employees for his company, she's white, but she's a lesbian. So knowing she was on there saying knowing him personally, it was hard for her to deal with. It was hard for her to come to work, knowing his views and him. He
Mm.
wouldn't keep
Okay.
apologizing, but he apologized. But the fact that he wouldn't keep even though he was becoming more educated, then
Mm-hmm.
he didn't really strive to do all the work until later. She said
Yeah.
that put a dent in their like friendship. One
Oh
of
wow.
these because she was,
No, they weren't even going to apologize and tour. They weren't even going to tour and
A
apologize every
tour of
5 seconds on
apologize.
every media. And he's like,
oh
I'm not gonna
yeah,
keep
they
doing it. I
did,
said it
right,
once and
right,
I'm done.
right,
You know what I
right,
mean? And
right.
and
They
then
wanted
she
to
had a
do
problem.
so much.
Yeah, yeah. He's like, come on, man. I'm not like in. Now you're trying to force me to do something, right? And that's the problem. You're trying to force me to be an ally. That's what they wanted him now. They want him to come out as an ally. You know what I mean? And he's like, look, I'm not anything. You do what you do. I'm not, champion anybody's plight right now, right? That's not for me to do. So I said I apologize for what I said in the past. If it offended anybody, now I'm moving on. I'm not saying it anymore.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I'm not talking about it
That's
anymore.
hard.
You know,
Like,
just because I don't.
What happened? He was right in the middle of a sentence.
yeah, I heard him, but I couldn't hear him.
Like, just because I don't.
Yeah, I just think it's like the council culture. Sometimes I feel like what he was talking about, like, forces you into a box, or tries to force you. You think this one way, this is the one thing, and you're like,
Mm-hmm. It made me think about the Justin Bieber thing. Remember, some few years ago, they were trying to cancel him because he said the N-word when he was, he did some kind of video or something, and he was like a teenager.
mm-hmm.
And he apologized.
Who was trying to cancel him?
People on Twitter, whoever these people are, that
Gotcha.
have these huge followings and stuff. They were trying to cancel him. But he said the same thing Kevin Hart said, pretty much, that I've grown since then.
I'm not a kid anymore.
I apologize. Yeah, he apologized. And it didn't hurt him. It didn't hurt him.
Well,
so
I don't think that would hurt him because he said the word nigger. It's not like he called somebody gay or something. If you said something about gay people, they're going to get canceled. They don't care about.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So that's a good point. That's a good point.
Yeah. So it's about what you. It's about what's called.
Yeah.
It's what you say.
Record it or
who
not.
cares about it? And who cares about it? Right.
Right. I know, like, for example, I know a lot of public officials are being canceled. Like, if they say a lot of public officials in the past who've been recorded, if you having like you're at the workplace, you're having a conversation, but somebody records it on the phone or something, like what you said, and then years later they don't like something you do, so they release the video or release the recording, and then it goes where now people are forcing you to quit your job. They're saying, "Oh, you're bigot, you're racist," and you could be. By all means, you could be, and you just may well be. But it's like now your life is totally different.
I missed the thing about gender, but I don't. Again, we keep saying cancel. I don't know how many people really canceled and lose their job. Most people so-called get canceled. It'd be a little hoopla, and then especially they keep their job and they move on.
Yeah. But I'm talking about people who are like high public officials or people who have.
That's what I mean. The high public who lost their job. Who lost their job as a high public official? We see people in blackface, and they be in blackface, and they're like, "Oh, it was just," and we get a stink, and they don't lose their job, right?
Well, right.
It's tough because it's really again canceling. The cancel culture only has so much power as well, right? And it can definitely damage your reputation or how some people view you. But just think about it. If I'm in blackface, there's a lot of people that agree with you being in blackface or that. So half the population is like they're supporting it. They're not canceling. They're like, "Oh, I agree. I do it all the time." So it really depends on what you do. Now, what Ruth said something about men seem to have quicker comeback from it than women get canceled.
Yeah, we were talking about gender while you were off, and we were talking about the difference between the cancel culture with men and women, and it seems like women get canceled easily, and they have a harder time coming back.
Give some examples?
So
can you
earlier,
give some examples? Because I don't know that.
Earlier, I mentioned the first person that pops into my head is Monica Lewinsky, and then I talked about Chrisette Michele. Mentioned that, like, different.
Did Monica? She got canceled. What did she get canceled from? I'm confused. She didn't have a job before that. So what did she get canceled from?
I love.
What did she lose? What did she actually? It actually made her more famous because now we know who she is. She got things from that, right? Because I think even the dress with the stain on it, she sold.
She said that it ruined her life. that she, you
Yeah,
know,
she
I don't
said
know
as,
what that
as she was getting
means.
paid to, as she got paid to do an interview.
Right, but every time she
So
tries to do
again,
an interview
we
about
got
something different, we're back to Bill Clinton. They can't escape that. People think it's her. It was whether it
well,
was
that's
her
always going to be something we talk about because that's her claim to fame. If that's all you
I
ever
understand
did
that. Yeah,
when we talk
that
to you, we're
makes
going to
sense.
talk about that. Every time
Mhm.
it's like coming out. Every time you go on a new platform, that's the first thing we want to talk about, right?
What you
Because
came out.
that's going to be something that, you know,
Mhm.
yeah, that's something interesting. Like, yo, so when you suck that dick and became famous, like, and the thing about it,
I can't,
any
girl.
job she
You
gets,
making me laugh.
any job she gets, any job she gets is off the back of that dick she sucked. That's the only reason she's getting a job now anyway, right? So she wasn't in no way was she canceled, right? Because she didn't. What did she have to lose, right? She gained her little 15 minutes of fame, and she's still riding that 15 minutes of fame right now because she has nothing else. So I don't believe she got canceled at all.
I just think when I think
She
about
got a
like just
cop.
watching her on videos and her anguish and all of this of the last 2 decades and just certain things, I just my observations. It is what it is. But
Right.
What
She plays it
anguish?
as
What
she
anguish?
plays
She's
it.
on
I
there telling the
plays it.
same.
She
Yes,
plays it as such.
she
That's what I'm
plays it
saying. She
as
plays it
anguish,
as such.
and her life has been
That's what she's doing.
tortured
Again,
ever since
she's
that
And she can't
situation.
live in peace.
she's
People
profiting.
don't think of the people think nothing of her but that. I get it. I see both sides, but I'm just saying. But when it comes to between her and Bill Clinton, like
She's profiting. There was no cancel there, right? She profited off of it. She got famous off of it, and now she's been hurt for how long has it been? 20 years. I don't know how long
yeah,
it's been.
it's
She's
been a
still hurt.
while.
The same pain, the same anguish. Tell her get some help. She needs to talk to somebody then. She ain't over it by now.
She did talk
right?
about getting
or
help
dealing
too.
with that pain.
Going to
So
therapy. She did talk
I don't
about
necessarily
that too.
think. I listen. She's running around with a married man. What she thinks is gonna happen? It all ends at a certain point. So I just think that. So I wouldn't use that. So I just need to know, even canceling. I think more people, I think, get canceled in a way where they catch you.
Again, mid-sentence.
Yeah, he said they catch you something.
Right.
I didn't catch the next word.
No, neither.
But
did
I would say Chris said Michelle did get canceled for
well,
real.
yeah, she did.
Canceled.
Oh yeah, she got
definitely-
canceled.
Yeah.
Yes,
That's
she
definitely
did.
the perfect situation right there.
Yes.
I got the worst reception ever. So
okay.
The worst ever. It's terrible. It's
I
probably
know
keep
you
doing
got
it.
cut off mid-sentence.
Yeah, this LA is terrible. I'm telling you, it's terrible. But for canceling, usually for me, where I see it actually become something is where you have a viral moment, especially now. If you say something to somebody, a Karen or something like that, you call somebody a name, and then people find where your job is, they call your job, and you get fired. And they're usually a low-level employee, right? I usually see that type
happened with the woman that gave the president. Well, when what's his face was president, when she gave him the middle finger as she rode by on her bike.
Yeah, they did.
He got her fired.
Yep,
she got fired.
Definitely.
See, gotta go.
Or the woman that called, or the woman that called
from,
about because her
I
dog
think the
was
dude
on
from
the
Papa
leash.
John's.
What happened at Papa John's?
Well, how about the guy from Papa John's, right? Didn't the guy who said got some racist stuff come up?
Yeah,
and he had to step down. The one that was in all the commercials.
He was supporting the other one.
He was supporting the remember Jerry Jones,
gotcha,
the owner of the Dallas Cowboys, about the
yes. And now Shaquille O'Neal does Papa John's, right?
Yes.
Of all pizzas,
yes,
you had to go there.
What you do when you say something about listen, when you say something about niggas, what do? Get one to be on your show.
Yes,
we like niggas. Look, we got a big nigga on our show. That's what they do. right?
Mm-hmm.
And that's what we do. That's what they do. And it's very interesting how that works.
Rebrand.
We
And I'm wondering.
I have black friends.
Yes, yes. I'm wondering if, because I don't know, I haven't done any research on. I wonder if that affected the My Pillow Man, because he was another staunch supporter.
He was. He is. Still
Yeah.
is.
Yes, yes. And now he's doing, he has his
So
regular
I know
commercials,
I
but
know
I
you
seen
did
him
it.
doing some other stuff. And he's
Yeah, if you do it in quiet, like a lot of people don't know. I didn't know that.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, but they had him step down
But like,
a little bit, but
what's
he still has stake. He
Okay.
still has majority stake in the company. But they've been trying to buy him out, even though it's started it.
What's the Martha Stewart? Didn't she get kind of canceled for a minute for saying the N-word?
Yeah, for a minute, and treating her staff poorly, like kind of for a minute. But then she hooked up with Snoop.
And it's been good ever since.
Hey,
it's been good ever since.
Great branding.
You got to rebrand again.
Correct.
You know what I mean? Again, and it's so easy to buy us out. We just give us a job. I give one of y'all a job,
and I'm there.
One of you N-words a job, and now you're back.
Good, right?
You're back in good graces.
Now you're back.
Back in good graces.
Sing my praises. Tell the rest of your people that I'm good.
Absolutely. Mm-hmm. And so it's very interesting. And I go back to saying the same thing with the cancel culture. I usually see it on the lower level more than on the higher level, right? Mm-hmm. Because if you have money and stuff, it's harder to cancel somebody. But they don't care, first of all. Mm-hmm. Okay, I'm sorry. I didn't mean to call you a nigger.
And what's her name?
Can I keep working?
She's the favorite. She was a cook, a Southern cook. She's real famous.
Oh yes. What is her name?
And she was.
I know who you're talking about.
She was caught saying it. Nigger.
Paula Dean.
Yes, she got canceled. They took her show off, and then they had her. They had her sons, because her sons produced it. So her sons ran her show for a little bit. Mm-hmm. Remember that? Yes. Because she got caught saying nigger on camera.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah.
So
but I haven't seen
canceled the Jeopardy producer. Now, didn't they? And I'm not sure, but didn't they get rid of the new hosts for something as well? They had a new host of I think Jeopardy, and I know it was supposed to be.
I don't know who hosts Jeopardy now.
It was supposed to be LeVar Barton at one point, and then they did it to it was some white guy they ended up picking, but they found something in his past that he said.
So LeVar Barton, he was just one of the finalists to be the Jeopardy host. They had a couple of people, like 4 or 5, that was.
No, he was. It seemed like he was the one in the running, because they had posted that he was going to be it, but they went with somebody else.
But they picked.
Ready to go?
They didn't pick him. They picked two co-hosts.
Look at it. You want to talk?
The chick that was Blossom.
Y'all want to talk?
Oh, really? Mayim Bialik. I'm not saying her name.
But the male.
And y'all talking about cancel culture?
Or got canceled?
I don't think we can tell.
Just how do we join?
I can't. I would have to send you the link. Hold on.
Okay.
Hold on.
We're all ready.
The producer was going to be.
She said the producer was going to be the host.
Yeah. Okay, that's the guy. So he was going to be it, but something happened.
Right.
And I don't know what it was. And then they're like, "Oh no, he won't be it anymore."
I think it was. He had some sentiment. How you say it? It was not appropriate, his language towards other ethnicities.
Okay.
Oh, anti-Semitic?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, he felt a certain way, and his words came back to haunt him. They had him on video and voice recordings and other things. It wasn't just one thing he had said in the past. So so he kind of
so this is the issue I have, right? Because I think at one point, say you don't know something, you're not familiar with something, and you say something, right? Or you make a joke or something, years prior.
Okay.
And you don't feel that way anymore. Maybe you've learned and you have a different mindset, and they're still coming at you like you were that person when you were, had a different knowledge or whatever the case may be. That's the
Right.
problem I think a lot of time with coming at people, because we grow, right? We grow, change as we learn.
Most people,
So it's
many
not fair to
people.
hold somebody to something they did. In most cases, yes,
Right. But I feel
not
like the
fair to hold
solution for
someone to
that,
something they did, 20 years ago.
I think a good solution for that is a great publicist. I'm sorry.
Right. Yeah.
It's in the celebrity world. A
We
great
need somebody that can spin it
goes a
right.
long
But
way.
your publicist, listen, your publicist can't help you when you have these bad jokes and you tweeted it. Your publicist can't spin that.
Right. But they can
And that's
help you
why
when you're trying to
that
apologize appropriately and you don't know what you're saying. So just think about
there's
the
no
baby.
see, that's the thing. There's no
That
appropriate
thing.
there's no appropriate apology, right? The only way you can apologize for some of this, only way you can apologize for some of these things is to become
Change
an
actions.
ally to whatever it is that you may not want to be connected to.
Right,
Okay.
right.
So like,
And
the
that's
baby
kind of what
said-
Justin Bieber did when he's, he denounced racism and he talked about how bad it is, and all that on top of his apology, makes it seem very sincere. I've changed. I've grown.
But nah,
But he's still appropriating
listen,
culture
who
with
was
his
really
vibe.
going to cancel him? He said, I was gonna say he said the word nigga and he hangs out with niggas. So I mean, who was really trying to cancel him over that? You know what I mean? He wasn't losing any venues. Now we talk about somebody like the baby, right?
Yes, that's what I
said
mentioned.
he lost
He's lost
venues that
he's
don't
lost
want to now.
venues of endorsements
They don't want to.
and concerts.
They don't want to. They don't. They don't want to. Now you're losing things, right? So
Right.
that's a difference, right? Because of what you
Yes,
said,
you're right.
which is something they it's something they kind of say at a lot of concerts, right? These type of things, right? To get the crowd hype. This is not anything new, but everything is so sensitive. When you say things, you got to watch that you don't offend anybody.
But then his first
Right.
apology, so-called apologies, was worse than what he said at the concert. He should have been.
Well, no. See, this is what I'm telling you. When somebody's real, no, he shouldn't be. When somebody's real, right? And he's saying, listen, from what he know, where he's coming from his own understanding. He's apologizing to, like, listen, I'm just telling you, if I send to somebody, could y'all suck a dick in the parking lot? My bad. Like, he was coming from where he was, right?
I get
it. But again, like I said, apologies today means you have to now become a ally. Now you gotta be like, you got to go to gay parade. You got to fly flag.
You
now
almost
you got to have a best friend.
Ass.
That's that. You just got to champion their plight now. You got to have a flag on your concert to say that show you're pro everybody. You know what I mean? And that's not the case. You know what I mean?
Inclusive for everybody.
Matter of fact, they want a concert just for them. Because you do an LGBT concert, which is the problem
for
to
HIV
me.
Awareness.
Now you got to champion HIV awareness when
he does. Like he's been doing that.
It's tough, when you do something or say something that's kind of off color. And you have to, and that's the thing. You can't really be against anything out in the open, right? So if you really feel something is wrong, a lot of times you're going to be canceled, right? You're going to be canceled when you feel something is wrong, when you don't agree with. Yes.
Send my mom the link.
my sisters want to get on and talk.
Okay. But Darryl, do you think that if the baby was, and I don't know, I was gonna say more popular or more followed, because I don't know, his status as far as
tons of followers.
World.
He's big.
But do you think that if he was like a Justin Bieber or a Chris Brown, then no one would say anything?
That's a good question.
Yeah, like would
no, listen. That's not a good question. Remember, I don't care who you are. Listen, I don't care who you are. anytime you say, especially with the LGBTQ population,
There he goes again.
Missing it.
Yeah,
Well, I see what he
missing.
was trying to say. Anytime,
I
it
know
doesn't
what he's
matter who you
trying
are.
to say,
Anytime,
but I
yeah.
still think that if people like what you do, the chances of you getting canceled are slimmer.
I see what you're saying. Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah, I think if people like you, and because the baby has had other controversies surrounding him, right?
Yes. Yeah, this is not the
Yeah,
first.
yeah.
And he's kind of made it through those, but this is the first one I think he hasn't that really affected him overall, like his money, like certain
Mm-hmm.
things. Because
Mm-hmm.
he was supposed to headline like certain festivals,
Mm-hmm.
big arenas, like all. So
so I'm sorry, real fast. No, I don't care who you are, right? There's not a level of money that separates you from that. If you say something negative in reference to that population, you're going to be canceled.
mhm.
So I don't care
Mm-hmm.
who it was. It was Chris Brown, anybody. That because they're so powerful right now. That's the biggest wave right now. So if you say
Okay.
anything remotely that's homophobic, you will be
Mm-hmm.
canceled. I don't care who you are. That's why. So it's tough. So like Boosie is talking about a lot of things that
Yes, he is.
one side is like, we're canceling him for this. But what he's saying, some of the things I'm not saying is true, but people feel are true, and they agree with. So he has a big population that's also following him, and he says he's not beholden to anybody. He makes his own money. He makes his own tours. So there's nothing you
Mm-hmm.
can cancel
Right.
from him. So he's got
Right.
that
Right.
freedom, kind of like a Dave Chappelle,
Mm-hmm.
Dave Chappelle is free, so he's not
Mm-hmm.
worried about endorsements. So when he makes these gay jokes, whatever joke, and people get upset, he's like, "So what? Oh, here's my next show."
Mm-hmm.
Right? Because
Mm-hmm.
he's
Right,
not
and they still come.
beholden to the machine.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, you're
Mm-hmm.
not beholden to the machine. If you're connected to the machine, like Kevin Hart is, where that's why you have to apologize, right?
Mm-hmm.
You have to apologize because of that, because you're
And everything looks
beholden to the
different.
machine.
I agree with that.
So
Mm-hmm.
because you have, because you're eating off of this population.
Right.
So that's what I'm saying. If you say anything off color, and if they have something they can hold you to, they're going to cancel you.
They're gonna
It
hold you
doesn't
to it.
matter. They're going to make you, and that's what's weird about it. It forces you to agree or be quiet, right? And you may
Mm-hmm.
not agree with something, but you can't say anything. You can't say anything because if it seems a little off, or your understanding is what it should be, you will be canceled,
Mm-hmm.
right? You will be canceled ASAP if you don't
Mm-hmm.
agree. If you were like, well, I don't really agree that, like we'll talk about the high school track and field where they have, you can, say if you're trans from male to female, now you
Hmm.
can run with the females. When you step out and say, look, that's not okay, it becomes a problem.
That's a
You can't
problem
say
for
that,
people.
right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
You can't even champion. Yeah, you can't even champion the idea that, because you say, and if you say something like, well, I think that real girls should run with real girls, that's a problem.
Mm-hmm.
You understand? And
Mm-hmm.
and and,
It
and a
is
lot of the
in
girls who run
terms of what
track
people
feel
think.
that
Yeah.
way. They
Mm-hmm.
feel that way, right? They feel that way. I think I should run with girls who are born a girl,
Mm-hmm.
and they should be able to have the right to say that, but you don't. And I'm not saying picking any side. I'm saying that if they feel that way, just like another group may feel, I have the right to run with these people. Well, okay, how can I get canceled for saying I don't feel you have the right to run with girls if you weren't born a girl? But you can say, I was born a man, but I trans to a woman, and I want to run with girls, and that's okay. It's really one-sided sometimes. So you can't even have
It can.
a decent argument about things, because you can't really express your feelings if you oppose that ideology,
Mm.
because you get
It's like
canceled
everything
and you get
becomes
looked at
controversial.
as, yes, and then you get looked at as being homophobic or transphobic, when you're really, in your heart, you're not. You're just saying that I don't agree with this, right?
Mm-hmm.
So you have to really
Mm-hmm.
pick your words very carefully, right?
But
And
then,
that's why people don't
yeah,
talk. That's why you
Yeah.
don't
I
talk,
agree
because
with
you would
you,
get
girl. Like
you would get canceled like this.
even with the other side of that, when you have females who were born females, but they're disqualified because they have too much testosterone in their system. That
So, and no one, let's see, no one even talked about it, right?
Right.
we actually allowed that to happen, but that's because they were Black women. I feel
Right.
they were Black
Yeah.
women,
Black
and
women.
no one cared enough to champion their opinion. Right?
Correct.
No one cared enough to champion their opinion or how they felt or the other side. It just happened. But on the other side, we're champion to say, you know what, this trans woman is weightlifting, right? And that's okay. So, but I think people don't speak out on things because you don't want to get canceled. Because if you say, why can't these women run when they're real women? That's a problem. What do you mean, real woman? Right? That's a problem. You're saying something that's kind of homophobic at that point. So it's tough to really talk in a cancel culture because who wants to lose their job? Who wants to lose their job over
their job, their friends,
someone saying how you feel, just because you feel something that's different than right now what's the wave, you could be canceled. Hello, Amber and Elsa.
Hello, Amber and
Hi, hello,
Elsa.
Elsa.
Hi.
How are y'all?
Good
Hi.
This is a
evening.
serious conversation. No one's laughing. Okay,
There.
we're talking about cancel culture, and
Yes.
how it affects different things. And it's tough. I know you guys deal with it in schools a lot because you have a lot of trans kids in school, correct?
Okay.
You're talking to me?
Yeah. Yes. Talking to you.
Yes.
Yes. And I mean, if you felt any type of way, could you speak out on it?
Yeah. The school is completely open. They listen to everybody.
So they would listen to you if you say,
no
you know what, I don't.
at my children's school.
If you went to your school and say, look, I don't think that kid should go to the bathroom with of girls because they were born a boy, they would listen to that.
Yes.
See, I got it already.
But no, they would listen to it. They would listen.
They would cancel your request.
They would listen to it, but they wouldn't necessarily go that route.
So what would they do then? I mean, because they're really you would be talking to someone and it would be falling on deaf ears, right? Because you already know that there's nothing you're going to do to change how how could they say if you really feel uncomfortable about it, right? How could they make your child feel comfortable in that situation if they're so open that they're not open enough to protect the kids that maybe don't share those views.
Feel comfortable?
Yes. And that's the problem.
That's actually been a problem.
Got you.
Kind of come up because the school that my children attend it's a very open school and they accept everybody.
Right.
So the parents that have the basic child feel left out.
Yeah, see, that's the problem. We're not being inclusive of everyone because we're saying we have to accept everything. We need to accept everything. But in accepting everything, we don't accept some people who may feel I'm going to use this loosely, quote unquote, what was normal before now is not normal anymore. And it's not okay to be what we called normal before or even feel feel normal. And that's an issue. So we are leaving out a whole population of people. And again, it's no way to appease everybody. I get it. But it's just weird.
But I feel like that whole culture of people has had their time. Like this is the time where people are now coming out to be who they are and live their best life and blossom, that we need to support them because there's plenty of support systems for the regular and the average person who has the normal. There's plenty of places to be supported.
You're right.
You're right. You have children that have lived in the shadows that are not supported. So now I feel like those people need to support them.
I get it. And that's what happened in the Sodom and Gomorrah. We see how that turned out.
I don't know.
What?
Burn it all down. No, but listen, this is my thing. And we kind of talked about this the other day, Amber, is getting to the point where they're saying that everything is okay, right? And the only thing we cancel is what we deem to be normal, right? And we'll quote unquote use that in loose quotes. But then when we have the
Right.
people, Doc, I'm not sure what it's called. What is it called when people don't like? I think it's a body dysmorphia where you don't like uh,
A
body
part of your
parts.
body, or you
Yeah,
see
you don't like.
yourself different than other people see you.
I can't
Say that
remember what it's
again.
called. It's something where people don't like certain body parts. Like they may not like their arm. Like
Oh,
they want it cut off. I forget what it's
yeah.
called.
No, I know.
But
Hold
there's
on.
people
I'm
out there
gonna
that
Google this.
yeah, there are people out there.
Yes, I know.
There's a group of people that are championing and saying, listen, we should be. And now in the DSM-5 is looked at as a disorder, a body dysmorphia dysmorphic disorder. And are saying it's not normal for a person to not like a part of their body and have it cut off. But they're saying, well, what's the difference between us and somebody who's trans?
It's called
Go ahead, Amber.
body integrity identity disorder.
There you go. So now you label that as a disorder, right? But when I want to cut my penis off because I feel like it's something that I don't like, how is that any different? Right? So there's a group of people that are saying
It's different. I still think
it's not different. It's not.
It's different.
So
It's different.
cutting off a body part
because your
is cutting off a body
genitalia
part.
defines who you are as a male.
No,
or
it
female.
doesn't. It doesn't.
But
No,
your arm.
no. Listen, genitalia does not. Genitalia does not define who you are. If that was the case, there would be no trans people, right? They couldn't consider themselves a woman if they were born with a penis. Genitalia does not define who you are, right? Who you are is how you feel. Your genitalia doesn't always match who you feel. No, but well, if we're going to chromosomes, yes, right? But again, but you're saying that there's no such thing as a trans person. You're negating all trans people.
I never said there's what?
By saying that.
She did not say that, Daryl.
You just said.
That.
No,
she
yes,
did not
she did.
say
She
that.
said. She said biologically, your organs define who you are.
Hey, girl.
Listen.
That's not what you said.
So what you said. Listen.
No. That's a false
yes,
narrative.
you just said it.
That's a false narrative.
Amber. First of all, we'll even talk one at a time. If we replay it, what you said was, and you're about to get canceled. You said biologically.
I never said that though. But I never. You said something I never said.
No, you said biologically your organs depict who you are. Biologically, right?
Genetically and biologically, yes. If you're born with a penis, you are identified as male, and if you're born with a vagina, you are identified as female. That has nothing to do with your mentality of what you believe are.
You said that's what people identify you as, but that's not
at
who
birth.
You are.
Just at birth.
At birth.
Yes, that's it.
Well, remember. So but that's what people identify you as. That's not who you are, right? So that's what I'm saying. So trans people are saying, listen, I may be born like this, but it's not me. Right? This penis is not mine. I don't want it. And I want it cut off. Just like
I think they invert it. I don't think they cut it off, but okay.
Well, no, they cut the top and push it.
Yeah,
they can't put the whole thing in there. They gotta cut it, push, snip and push. So what I'm saying is that the same way that these people who say they have a limb that they don't want and want to cut off, it's no different in the sense that we don't like a part of our body. It doesn't make us feel like who we are. We want to get rid of it. Now you can be biased.
I don't think anybody.
It's not two different things. No, it is. There's a group of people out there that have this body dysmorphia where they don't like body parts. It might be a leg, a foot, an arm, and they're like, we don't want it. We don't want it. It doesn't. We don't like it. It doesn't feel good on us.
Okay, but with those people,
that's an organ that can produce humans. To cut off your penis.
Amber.
Wait.
Stop.
With those people,
to cut off your penis and to cut off your arm.
But wait.
Yes, J Beauty.
Okay, but with those people, do they just consider that normal behavior? Do they just accept it? I don't want my arm and I just cut it off.
Yes.
Can you pull up some research for this? Because I never heard of that.
But look it up because what happens is these people now, since we're accepting everything, right? These people are saying we're labeled as a mental health disorder because we don't like a part of our body. But if someone is trans and want to cut off their breast or their penis, it's nothing wrong with it. It's okay because it's their identity. they're saying it's not fair. We have the same plight. We don't like something, we want to remove it because we feel better without it.
So there's
And
people
I'm
who
not
like,
saying
I don't
I'm
want
not
my
agreeing.
arm. And they just say,
Yes.
okay, well, I'm going to cut your arm off and allow you to walk around with just.
Well, no. The problem is they won't do it. The doctors, hospitals won't do it because they feel like it's a disorder.
Yeah,
they
doctors
feel like it's
won't.
something wrong with you.
Doctors
Yeah.
won't do that.
So
Yes.
that's what I'm saying. So I'm saying
They
like
won't.
there's a difference between.
What's the difference?
Well,
You're cutting off an organ.
it's
a difference in our perception.
Yeah, well, I'm
Only
saying there's
difference
a
in our
difference in
perception.
what they allow because they don't just go cut somebody's foot off because they don't like their foot.
Mhm.
There is
Well,
a
that's
clear
what. But
difference.
listen, but you're telling
There's
me
a
I can cut your
psychological
penis
difference
off because I don't like
Well,
my
I'm
penis.
like a woman
Wait a minute.
I'm not
You don't
telling
think it's
anybody.
wait a minute.
anything.
No, you don't think it's psychological to cut off a body part no matter what it is? You think it's normal to want to cut any part of your body
Okay,
off?
so now are you gonna get canceled because you're saying that people who are
I'm saying what I
transgender
answer Amber.
aren't normal?
No, what
So
Amber
now
said
you're about to
Okay.
get
is
canceled.
normal. No, I said, do you think it's normal? It's a question. Do you think it's normal to cut off any body part? That's my question. So if we're
So I
saying
think
it's okay to cut off one,
So when you
if
word
we're
it
saying
like
it's
that,
okay to
now the way you're wording it, do you think it's normal to cut off a body part?
Yes.
Yes.
That wording is almost offensive because
I was about to say that.
if you
do you think it's normal to cut off a body part?
If you
Simple question.
cutting off, if
Do you
you
think
feel
it's
like
normal?
you have
It's a
an
question.
arm that listen. If
So
you feel
are
like
we
you
answering
have an
questions with
arm-
questions?
But wait, it's not just
No,
about the body
it's
part.
not a cut and dry answer. If you feel like you have an arm and you don't want to have an arm, but that's still
Oh,
not
it
gonna
isn't. Yes, it is. It is
it's
a
not
cut and
gonna
dry
change
answer. It
who
is.
you are as a human. It's not gonna make you a male
Wait,
or a female.
wait a minute. Time out.
An
So
arm
wait a minute. So
doesn't
now you're
change
telling
their
people.
gender identity,
You're telling
so it's
people
not
how
the
they.
same
Wait a minute.
thing.
Wait a minute.
That's
How are
like
you?
saying,
How?
no, I'll never
How are
agree.
you
So
telling
we're not-
somebody? So now you're telling somebody's identity. So now you're telling somebody their
Well,
identity.
where do you draw the
telling me that-
line? Where do you draw the line? Because
Does
well,
your arm
that's the
you're saying
question.
now that people should
That's
just
the
be able to
question.
do what they. There's a
Does your
line.
arm- Does your arm identify
Well, that's what I
as a
said. I don't.
As a woman,
and you
no.
feel like a giraffe? Like where's the like if I cut off my arm, I'm a giraffe. No. These people feel like if they have
So
a
now
penis,
you're saying.
they shouldn't
Now you're.
have
Wait a
it.
minute. Wait a minute.
And they are a
Wait a minute,
female,
time out. So there's no different- Listen,
to
what-
eliminate their
What you're saying.
appendage
What
that
you're saying.
makes them
What you're.
male,
No.
that would make
No.
them
Time out.
be able to live a full
No.
life. If you cut off your
No.
arm,
Wait a minute.
what does that
No.
have
Here
to
you
do
go.
with anything?
Listen. Stop.
We're
Stop.
doing-
Wait a
we're
minute.
doing
How? So now
over
you're
a bill that has
negating.
nothing to do with anything.
You keep talking.
Sorry.
You're negating a whole
Another
community of people who feel a certain way. So just because it's popular to cut your penis off,
I think you're
and it's
trying
not
to
popular
you're going to
cut
the
an arm off.
extreme. You're going to the
Thank you.
extreme. You're like,
You're
oh,
talking
people
about
who don't
gender
want an
identity
arm
versus
should
someone
not
that
have to
has a
have
body
an
dysmorphia.
arm. It's like ridiculous. This is ridiculous.
Gender identity and body
Wait,
dysmorphia are not the same thing.
Wait, I'm going to the extreme.
Yes.
Wait a minute. I'm going to the extreme because we're talking about cutting body parts off.
Yes. And you're
think so.
saying
Yeah.
that it should be accepted? That people should just be able to cut their arm off because they don't like it? We should
I think they
evaluate their. It's weird.
No,
I
but
think
what
they
we're
should, because let me tell you, if I don't like my boobs,
No, what we're saying
if
is
I
that-
don't like
You gonna
my
cut 'em
body,
off?
I'm gonna go and get it done.
Yeah, you'll change
You gonna get them
it.
done, girl. You gonna cut them
to
off.
appease me, how I want it.
You ain't gonna cut them off. Well,
But
you
are
might
you
have
gonna-
like 4 of your
are you gonna
toes, so
cut
just
them
cut them off.
I'm not gonna cut
That's
them off.
what
I'm
the-
gonna get. I mean, you see it all the time. Like people that get sick and then they gotta get them cut off, and then they get new ones to appease to however they want to look.
That's not
It's
the
all about
topic.
you.
That's not what they're talking about.
It's all about how you want to look. If that's not what you like, if you don't like
No, if somebody don't want their arm, they shouldn't be. They shouldn't just
No, you
get their
can't
arm cut
your
off.
arm off.
Yeah.
We
Yeah,
need to
just cut
talk.
your arm.
We need to talk. You need to talk to
Yeah.
somebody. That's what you need.
But if you feel
So-
I
like
don't think
listen,
you're gonna
this-
find
this
too
is
many
where- this is where-
doctors
this
who
is
will
where-
just cut your arm off
it is
because you don't like it.
100%.
Now, if you
Okay,
if
listen,
you
so we only can
you
talk
know,
one
in
at
the
a time.
case
Really,
of
Doc.
boob, if you find that you have the gene where you might develop breast cancer, there have been women who've had mastectomy, had their breasts cut off because they don't want to develop breast cancer. But to
Or
just
there's
say,
women that-
I don't want my arm, I don't think you're gonna find too many doctors who's gonna just cut your arm off.
No, and So what I'm saying, I agree that not too many
Thank you,
doctors may
Dr.
do it, but I'm
Carissa.
saying there's people out there that feel there's see again, you guys are missing. There's people out here who feel this way. So like I said, just because it's not a popular movement right now, these people feel like, listen, I'll feel whole without my arm. This is holding me back. We can't start telling these people how they feel or they don't feel, or we should be able to tell people who are trans how they feel or don't feel.
That's
So
not the same.
we're picking and choosing. How are you telling me it's not the same? How do you know it's not the
Because
same?
those
Because you're
people
not
that don't want
experiencing.
their
So
arms
stop.
are in the
So
vast
stop,
minority.
Amber.
They're not in the
Oh,
majority of
guess.
people
Wait a
that
minute.
are LGBTQ whatever.
LGBTQ is not the
Those people
majority.
that
They're
don't
not
want
minority.
arms
They're
and
not the
limbs
majority
are
either.
not in the
Wait a
majority of
minute.
humans that
You
live
think?
on this earth.
Wait. You think most people are gay? That what we're saying?
I don't think that's what she's
LGBT is also
saying.
minority.
But I'm thinking she's saying that
I'm not saying most
people
people
who
are gay.
don't
I'm
want
talking
their
about what we're
arm
talking about.
is a different thing
Transgender
than
people
someone who
are not
feels like
in-
they're not in the same in the right body.
Yeah.
I think that's
So what do you think the arm is? The people say they don't feel like this belongs to my body.
Your
Mental
arm does
disorder?
not
It's really
identify
not
you
different
by
what they're
gender.
saying.
Your
What it
arm
is
Mental
your
disorder.
arm.
I
Your
think the
penis and your
difference
vagina
is
identify you by gender.
Wait a minute,
So
but
if
your
you feel like
penis,
you're born
Amber,
a
your
female,
penis
you
doesn't
have a
identify you as
penis,
gender either.
then
Your
your
penis,
whole life is to
listen,
fight
your
against
penis doesn't,
having that
your penis,
not an arm.
You're
what,
still
see,
gonna walk
listen,
into a
Amber,
men's
that's not true
bathroom, or you're still
either.
gonna walk
Because
into a ladies' bathroom.
most transgender people I know, they don't get the reassignment down there. They don't. So
It
most of
doesn't
the people are
matter
not
if
getting
they
reassignments. So they keep their penis. What I'm telling you is that, so I'm just negating what you just said
but
about
don't they say
most
they're born
people,
in the wrong body?
this doesn't,
Thank
no,
you.
that's not true.
Don't they
They
feel
do.
like they're born in the
They
wrong
do,
body?
right?
Yeah.
But that doesn't mean they get the operations.
Yeah, so but they still don't feel it's
All
the
of them
right
don't get
body.
operations to change that, right? They may change their outward appearance. Well, exactly. So they'll change their appearance, right? Right? They'll change what they can, but sometimes they don't do reassignment. That's all I'm saying. And most of the time they don't do reassignment.
Jackson.
Okay.
That's all I'm saying. And I'm not advocating for either. I'm just saying there's a population of people out there that feel different. And we get the pedophiles. Pedophiles say, look, if we're allowed to like what we like,
There's
we
a
like
line.
kids.
There's
What's
a
wrong with
line.
that? So
There's a line.
we're opening.
Thank you.
We're opening. But where do we
And
draw
there
the
it
line?
is.
Is the
Right
question.
there. The
Because
line
Right
right
here.
there.
where do
You
we
draw
draw
the
the
line
line?
right there. Pedophiles
Right
are
there.
people who want to cut their
Listen,
arms off. That's where we draw
no,
the
no,
There's
line.
the line.
no. Listen.
I think that would be good line to
Yes,
draw
I think that's
right there.
Listen. I totally
Like we crossed the
I
line and we're
totally
over the
agree.
mountain.
But what I'm saying is that once we start being all inclusive and allowing everything, this is what we open our doors to, right? So there definitely has to be a line, and it has to be something that is, I guess we'll have to say, kind of almost fair, if we can use the word, for everyone,
Not
and that's
really.
my
No,
issue.
not
it don't have to be
necessarily
fair to
but
pedophiles.
it has to be
No.
something
I'm talking about as far as, again, everybody's basically.
I'll say that.
Everybody, I'm pretty sure not. Cause I'm open to. Listen, I'm open.
He's
I'm
talking about
what I'm saying is open
pedophiles
to
and
everybody.
bear. I don't know.
No,
Right?
see, typical. This is why we can't have a conversation, because people use your words and they change them to try to cancel you. This is what we talked about in the beginning. You can't have an honest conversation because people are going
So
to
you
pick
feel
and
like you're
cherry
being
pick.
canceled in the
They're going to cherry
conversation?
pick and they're trying to cancel you over things. No,
You're
what I'm saying is that
Okay.
Canceled.
but that's a serious problem we're having with being canceled, because you can't sometimes speak how you feel, even if it's like, say you don't really know something and you're speaking, people may take it as you're being ignorant willfully, but you may really not know, and you're not educated. And
Yeah.
I think before we jump and cancel people, try to educate them on something. If I say something like, just because you want to cut your arm off, that's not your identity. That you may need to be educated, because that may be their
So
identity,
then those
right?
people
No,
that
that's
say
not their
that-
identity.
Those people that would
Listen,
say that are
wait a minute, time out.
uneducated.
We
Because
can't. I
if you
can't say
talk-
that until I
I
really
can. I
delve
drew the
into it
line.
more. So what you're
Right.
doing
Draw the
is
line.
If
you
you
both
if
like
someone comes to me and
you
say,
get canceled.
"What's wrong with my
Cancel.
Cancel
both
me.
of you.
Someone
You
says,
can't
"I
cut your
want
arm off."
Yeah.
I'm going to have more conversation with them. So maybe the problem is people not having conversation with
The problem.
with
The
with
problem is
people
you're
that want-
biased. The problem is you're biased. That's the problem.
How am I biased?
Hmm.
I don't want to.
I'm fine with
You
being.
have
I
a
would be
bias
completely.
in you
I would be completely
because
fine
you're
with being biased. That's fine. I'll be biased.
How am I biased?
because you tell one person they can't do. You tell one person you want to have a conversation about what they want to do. The other person, you're like, oh, it's okay. If you feel that way, go cut it off.
Because
No.
So wait. Are you
Tell me you
biased?
want to cut your arm off? Have fun. Have
Conversation
fun.
has already been
Cut your
had
arm off.
with the
Cut your arm off.
transgender community. I don't know anyone. I've never
Me
talked
neither.
to anyone that wants to cut their arm off. I don't have you, Jolene.
Oh.
No.
Have
Wait a
you?
But I
Wait a
want to
minute.
know if you're
Know
biased,
why?
Daryl. Would
Know
you
why
tell
you
a
haven't?
pedophile?
Because you're not open.
Have you, Auntie Lily?
Wait a minute,
Alicia,
wait a minute.
I know you're muted. I've not. There's
So
no
guess what?
conversation of who do you
So
want to cut
here
your
you
arm
go.
off.
Here you go, Amber. Here you go. Just
No.
because it's cool. Just because it's cool now. Like 15 years ago, the conversation wasn't as cool. 20 years ago, the conversation wasn't as cool. 20 years ago, people weren't talking openly like they are now. So now
Daryl,
you're
no
talking about
one-
something when
Wait,
you
but
have a
wait,
conversation
but
about
wait, but
open
It's not
now.
It's not
But
It wasn't
wait.
like this 20 years ago.
Conversation. It'll be like the tea.
You know why?
Just wait.
Because it's
There's
not popular.
Republicans, there's
It's not
Democrats,
popular.
There's a
Just
Tea Party.
no.
Wait,
listen.
wait.
What are you talking about? The Tea Party.
Jay Beauty is
Just
like,
wait.
wait.
What are you
Just
talking
wait
about?
a minute. Are you
It's a lot
biased?
going on.
Daryl, are you biased? Because you're saying, oh, she doesn't accept that. So would you
Gotcha.
accept a pedophile? Because that's what they want? You're
Oh,
saying
hell
she's
no.
okay,
Hell
so
no.
then you're biased.
I wouldn't.
Thank
So-
you, Jolene.
so
With
there's nothing wrong
pedophiles,
with being
listen,
biased.
pedophiles, I'm very biased.
Okay.
I'm very biased with pedophiles. But now when it comes to someone cutting their arm off, if you want to do it, do it. Have fun. I'm not going to act like it's any different than what anybody else wants to do. So since you want to say, well, it's okay
You
to do
picking and
this
choosing.
and not okay. Know why? Wait a minute. Know why no one's talking to you about cutting their limbs off? Because they see how biased you are. It's like being in the closet years ago. No one wants to come out
Daryl,
and say
that's not
something because you judge
It's
them.
not the same.
Don't
You
nobody
judge
want to
them.
cut their arms off. You just
How
making
can you
up
tell me?
stuff.
How can you tell
Ain't
me?
nobody, don't
How
nobody
can-
want to cut their arm off. Like,
How
you're
can you
just
tell
making
me?
it up.
Look, Amber, look out the community.
I don't
Like,
like this toe. No, I don't like the way this toe looks. I'm just gonna cut it off.
It's not the same.
Yeah, I don't think I didn't hear
Yes,
that. one.
No,
Auntie
honey.
Nene.
No, Darrell. No.
I didn't hear that. I didn't hear
It's
that.
not the
one.
same.
It's not the
see, you can see these when people are uneducated, just because they don't know about it, it's not
It's
the same.
common
It
sense.
is the
It's
same
not about
because they
being
want to remove a
uneducated,
body
it's
part
about
for whatever
common
reason.
If you're born,
No.
Oh, so now,
Put it like this.
so now
If
it's
you're-
not common sense to want a body part cut
if
off.
you are
You're definitely
born-
getting canceled.
if
You're definitely
born
getting
and you
canceled.
feel like your arm doesn't belong. Jackson, get in the house.
Get in the house, she said.
Love your mom.
He's like, I want to be on
I
the
love
screen
you.
too.
Love you, baby. If you're,
I'm not
if
getting in the house.
I go.
Bye.
Both of you get out the street.
get out the street.
You're right.
Greg,
Go
tell me
get
more
your
about
kid.
these people.
If you feel like you're born with an arm that is, or a leg or a finger, whatever, that is preventing you from being who you truly feel like you are inside, whatever. But if you just, I'll support that the same way. But if you feel like I want to just cut my limb off because I don't like it, I don't agree with that. Like I was born with an extra, I should have one arm and
What?
I have two.
Wait. So if I want to cut my penis off because I don't like it, it's different than I want to cut my arm off because I don't like it. I think, and again, I think it's about how the person feels about themselves.
Topic of being transgender.
Hmm.
So
That's
if
different.
you're not transgender and you want to cut your penis off, I'll put you in the same category as someone who wants to cut their arm off. It's not the same thing.
Right. I agree.
Oh, so only this. Oh, I get it now. This only works if you're transgender. Got you. If you feel like you're different, you're born.
so
That's where it
strange.
works. I get it. It's
That's
special.
what I'm
This is
saying.
especially cutting things off are special.
Is he being sarcastic?
Cutting things off
Yeah.
are special.
Yeah,
Okay.
Yes.
it definitely is.
I
Yes,
felt
he
a warmth
is.
on my body, but I realized Daryl's being Daryl. Never mind.
Uh-huh.
Pointless.
Definitely
He's probably
sarcastic.
coming into the house. Look, if you look out the window, he's probably walking in. Where'd you go, Daryl? Look out the window and see if you see him walking this way. I'm not crazy. Oh, he's back.
He's in the car.
Yeah, he's
Come
still
here,
there.
Are you being
Very,
serious or are you
very
being
interesting.
sarcastic?
If we were having this conversation, 20 years ago, it'd be the same way we were talking about transgender people. Same as that conversation we'd be having. You understand? The same as that conversation.
I'm just not talking.
I guess you never watch Pose. I watched Pose. It talked about in the 70s, same thing. Don't try to act like it's different. It's just time changed and we allow more now because there's a better understanding of bigger movement. But, 20, 30 years ago, they had the same conversation about people being trans. They were hiding it. They thought it was wrong. They weren't for it. So what you're saying right now sounds cool for now because of the growth we had and the education we had about the situation where we're now okay with trans, right? These people are saying we want the same, the same type of
people that are I guess it's based off opinion, who are born in a genetic body that is not who they are. So, I mean, what?
Amber, there was people always born in bodies who are not who they were. You understand that, right? This has been going on forever. It's nothing new. You understand that, right? I'm asking you a question. I'm asking you a question. You can't tell me, Amber, what you're doing right now, the same thing they said about transgender back then. You're having the same argument. It's not the same. It's not okay. Again, so if you can't understand that times have changed, which made trans now more acceptable. Excuse me, I'm talking. Thank you.
No,
one at a time.
No, Kevin Samuels,
one at a time, Amber.
Amber,
one at a time. Thank you. So listen, one at a time.
That was funny.
No, listen, no, it's called simple respect. It's called simple respect. If I'm talking, you can't. Amber, you can't talk.
Daryl,
stop. You can't talk if I'm talking. So wait your turn.
I'm sorry.
Wait your turn.
I literally
wait your turn.
You.
Thank you. No, it's not going to work.
I love you.
It's. Oh my God! Stop talking. Who cares? Stop talking.
It's not going to work.
The point is, it's okay, but stop talking. Stop talking.
Work.
You can't talk at the same time.
Work.
Thank you. The point is, 30 years ago,
I'm gonna go get your brother, honey.
Please, hey, please mute her because it's not gonna work. So 30 years ago, the trans was having the same type of mute her. Please mute her, Doc. We had the same type of conversation back in the day before we got education, right?
Okay. Before we got education.
Yes, before we had the education, right? Trans people have always been.
Daryl, I'm sorry.
You can tell somebody don't get out the house all day. Again, people don't get. They just want to talk. They've always been a marginalized society, right? So I don't understand. Mute her, Doc, please. Thank you.
It's literally Kevin Samuels right now. Like I'm so confused.
So listen. What I'm saying is that.
What are you saying, Daryl?
Yeah,
I can't talk.
Just talk.
I can't talk.
Stop pausing.
You keep talking. Could you please?
Because you keep stopping.
Okay. So all I'm saying. Oh my goodness.
Let me guess. There's a delay.
Yeah, there's a delay between your mouth and your ears. Okay,
Listen. You still have to come to the house.
So what? Oh my God. This is tough. Never again. No, all I'm saying is that. So I mean, people have the right to feel the way they feel. These people who have this, whatever they feel. If we're talking about how people feel, I think that if we're getting to the point where we're saying how you feel is okay, you could, do what you want. We're all inclusive, like you said, we're all inclusive. I think that more of these things are going to come out the woodwork where people who felt this way are going to feel more comfortable about talking about their experience that they may have been hiding, and we're going to get into trouble where these people are going to want like the same liberties that other groups are having, other marginalized groups are having. Right. Okay. And that's the issue we have, because if you think about it, the LGBTQ aligned with the black our cause, right? They try to get along with our cause, right? They're like, we're like you guys, we're a marginalized group, which I don't necessarily feel is true, right? I don't think their cause is the same as ours.
Okay.
And black
But this is the problem we have,
LGBTQ are
and
not
we're going to run
treated the
into.
same as white LGBTQ people.
That's true.
So there's no alignment. It's not equal.
What'd you say? What'd you say?
Black
What'd you say?
I don't know all the
What'd you
letters,
say?
but black
It's LGBTQ IAR plus.
IAR plus are not
Yes.
treated the same as the white counterparts of LGBTQR plus. So I don't agree with that statement. But go ahead. I'll be quiet.
No, what I'm saying, sometimes they try to align the groups. Remember, Black Lives Matter aligned itself with LGBTQ.
I'm just gonna be quiet.
Okay.
So I think I kind of get what he's saying in terms of like, for example, when it came to women's suffrage and when it was time for women to vote, it was just like, but there was the black struggle, the black movement, Underground Railroad, all of that. How do black men get to vote before women, white women especially? So that was a big thing. So there could be multiple movements going on, but another movement will align with another one to get a little more traction or further, because it's like, okay,
Yes.
there. So that's what I understand what you're saying. So it goes way back, but there is definitely separation. So because once the women's suffrage movement got what they needed, it was just like whatever's going on in the black community, it is what it is. Like we've gotten the right to vote. So just certain things.
That's across the board.
Correct.
Not
It
equal. It's
Yeah.
not equal. And Jolene, it will never, black people will never have an equal treatment. No matter what group, if you're a Democrat and you're black, if you're a Republican, you're black, if you're gay and you're black, it will never be the same equal treatment across the board, period. Ever. Because you're
What? You're about to get canceled. You're about to get canceled.
me.
Again, and we know that, but remember,
You said it, so.
we and it's funny, like I said, saying something like that, people don't want to agree. They want to say things are equal now. They said that we've caught up. There's really no racism. There's no
But we
systematic
know
racism
better.
anymore.
We know better than
Right.
We know better than that.
Well, we can say we know better, but they keep promoting it, right? And even in the cancellation of the CRT, right? That's another way of them trying to cancel. That's another way of them trying to cancel. Yeah, they're trying to cancel history, right? They're canceling history by trying to rewrite it, right? By saying we can't teach this anymore. We don't want to teach this. This is bad to teach us about the suffering of black people, because now white people feeling bad that they had to suffer. So we got to take it out to keep them from suffering, keep white people from suffering.
Well, that's not what happens at my children's school.
I'm pretty sure.
No, I guarantee.
I'm pretty sure they don't teach. I'm telling you, I'm pretty sure they don't teach. Okay, what do they teach?
I'm not going to say exactly what they teach, but when I'm going to these parent meetings, the white kids no longer want to identify as white because white equals
the oppressor.
Oppression.
White
oppression.
No, Amber, that's exactly the problem. That's exactly the problem. No, but that's the problem. This is why they want to stop teaching these things, because people are feeling bad about what white people did, and the white guilt is now taking over, and they don't want to feel guilty. So not to feel guilty, what the first thing they'll do is you're trying to separate yourself from being white. So now they're changing what they are or what they call themselves. It doesn't change what happened, right? So they're masking the truth now in different things. They're erasing the truth. They're taking it out.
These are the children.
And not that they were teaching a lot of truth.
The children no longer.
That's what I mean.
Are not
so children
to
saying we don't want to identify as white. We don't want to
because of what comes along with being identified as white.
But what are they? But what are they?
No.
What are they though?
But
when you see them, what are they? I don't care. That's the same thing. What are they?
Of thought.
Yeah. So no, that's a hiding of thought. That's like saying I'm not
It's
black.
not a
I don't want
hiding
to be.
of
No,
thought.
you are black. So accept what you are. Okay, so if I say I'm not white and I'm white, what is it?
No, they're saying they're not wanting to identify as white in the sense of being racist and bigots and everything that comes along with being white.
Like a
They're
colonizer,
saying
oppressor.
right.
So, but
So
what I'm
the
saying is that
generation of
the education. But listen, the education that's being taught is still biased education, right? We're still seeing things through a colonized eye. So you can say I don't subscribe to this, but if your actions are subscribing to it, it doesn't matter what you say you're not,
All
right?
right, so
You
let
still
me ask a
so
benefit.
then you'll have
question.
your
Let me
argument will
ask
have
a
Go ahead.
question.
Thanks, Doc.
different
Daryl,
Yeah, Doc.
types of
Yes.
Darrell, why,
Yes.
what is this between you and Amber? Why you keep countering everything she says when a lot of times you guys are on the same page?
We ain't never been on the same page.
Never.
We ain't been on the same page yet. I don't know what she's talking about. She's saying that kids are not identifying. If kids see, that's it. See, this is what is in your cup. That's what we need to know.
No, it has,
This is the problem. When
Oh
kids
my
don't identify
gosh.
you know what
as
I have
such,
you know what
it's
I
okay
think
for them not to
No.
identify.
I think it's how I was raised, and I showed like you've seen how I was raised is completely different. Maybe it's like Southern California culture. I don't know, but where the way I was raised is completely different and how I think is completely different than how Daryl thinks. But his brother, my husband, thinks I'm crazy half the time. So it's not. This is nothing new
She
to
is
me.
obviously so. That's every
Okay.
if two different people think the same thing about somebody, it's usually that person. It's not us.
No,
So
but you got no.
all I'm saying is that
Because
the
everyone
problem
I
is
know
if
that
when
I
you
grew
start
up with
canceling things,
agrees.
or people.
I disagree. It depends on how you tell the story.
Thank you.
You can be very convincing, very controlling, very manipulative.
Thank you.
To make sure you persuade the person on the other side. So I disagree.
Good thought.
I didn't hear anything they said, so I didn't hear anything.
I don't.
So again,
be
like
honest,
I said, at the end of the
I
day,
love everybody. I don't care what you want to do. To be honest, what it boils down to, I don't care what you want to do. I don't care who you want to be. I love you. I support you. I don't care. And as far as education,
no, you don't. You said people can't cut their arms off.
If there's an actual like, why do you want to cut your arm? Like, I'm not going to support her saying, you know what, today I don't want an arm. But if she said for many of years, as transgender people have said, and it had to become legal for them to alter their body to become who they want to be, if that same thing was devoted to someone who wants to cut their arm off, and psychologically they've been researched and it's come to cutting your arm off is going to make this person a better person, of course, go ahead. I don't care. But to just be like, I want to cut my arm off?
Yeah.
Daryl.
I mean, I see it all the time where people say, I don't like how my arms look, I'm going to do some enhancements, but I've never ever heard of someone say, I don't like my arm, I'm just going to cut it off. Or I don't like my toe, I'm just going to cut it off. I've heard of people saying, I want to look different, fashion.
Yeah, that's
plays a big part now, with how society looks at people. And with all that being said, people just want to look
and I have wine
an acceptable way, which I don't know what the acceptable way is nowadays because the trends tend to change so fluently.
But that's literally being born a different gender than that. I feel like that's just like, you can take it even further and talk about people that are gay. So to be gay, that's like saying, is that wrong? No, it's not wrong. It's who you are. My brother's gay. My brother was born gay since I knew he was gay since he was 2. Like, that's who he is. So if you're transgender, you're in the wrong body. Period. Oh. Where'd the rail go? if you're born gay, and I truly, and then again, it goes back to who you feel you are. If you feel like you're born gay, then you're gay. I'm not going to be like, no. Welcome back, sir. He's still mad at me. I'm so scared. But if you're born gay, I feel like you're born gay. That's what we're talking about. My brother's gay. I knew my brother was gay. I say at 2, but at 1, he was gay. Like, we knew he was gay.
Cancel.
And I'm not talking about bisexual. I'm talking about through and through a gay person. I'm not talking about testing the water somewhere else. If you are who you are, you are who you are. So if you feel like your arm, you just don't like your arm, it's not the same as someone who is literally genetically born a certain type of way, or same as someone that has Down syndrome, or same as somebody that has whatever chromosome.
Wow. So
that way.
So we're negating bisexual people now too? Are we negating bisexual?
What is that?
Are we negating bisexual people?
No,
what do you mean?
Negating that, but I'm saying
bisexual people. Are we negating?
Do you see?
Because she said if you're born gay and you're gay through and through, and you're gay through and through, she said if you're born gay and you're gay through and through, and you said it all your life, that means I'm talking, Amber. Thank you. You had it like 15 in a rant. Thank you. So listen, if you're born gay, if you're bisexual and you like both, or if you're pansexual, where you just like people for how they treat you. Now, these people are, again, they may have not stated from the beginning that they were pansexual. They may not know they were pansexual or bisexual. You like everything. You don't, you like both sides. So are these people any less than someone who was, like I said, born gay and said it from the beginning and weren't testing the waters and weren't feeling? So you just said that's okay. So it's not okay to be bisexual, or it's not okay to question.
Is that you with all the feedback, Daryl?
Finally quiet.
Yeah, because I'm not talking anymore. It's no point. I realize that.
Good.
But
because you were talking in a circle, and you about to get canceled. You're going to get canceled. I don't know if I'm going to cancel. I don't know if I'm going to dinner with you. You might. Somebody might see this and it might think I think like you, and they ain't gonna run up on me. Okay. So, but I'm saying this conversation right here could really end up getting us canceled, right? Somebody could take something we said the wrong way, or take it a certain way, and now say, look, this person said such and such, and literally try to cancel us, or write bad reviews about us, or talk about us. And there's nothing that anyone said that was really. Yes, we don't know what you did coming on late. But this is why. Oh my goodness! I thought you weren't talking anymore. So this is the problem with these type of conversations, because it's tough to be open and honest and have an open dialogue and really get to how you feel, and then maybe learn something from it. Like, oh, that's not how these people feel, or you said something wrong. Like me telling my truth, even though it may be ignorant because I don't know enough about it. I should be able to tell my truth, and then you say, listen, what you said right there wasn't really right. What the right thing is, yada yada yada. Instead of jumping and canceling somebody, or trying to now defame them or call them something that they're really not. And that's the problem I have with this cancel culture. It's too quick to deem you something when you really could be saying something you feel or you were taught and don't know any better, right? And I think that we need room to allow people to make mistakes. That's the problem with cancel culture. It seems like it doesn't give you that room to make the mistake.
I agree with that, and people won't say I don't agree with you, and move on.
Yes, exactly, and you should be able to disagree. And I think as long as you're not doing it in a disrespectful way, if you don't agree with something,
like the way you were talking to Amber,
there's nothing wrong with that. But there shouldn't be anything wrong with that. Like I was talking to Amber, I just don't agree. Okay, I don't know what Amber talks about half the time. We're gonna have part 2 later because I don't know what she was talking. We listen. We try to help Amber, right? We try to help her as much as possible.
Help me.
It's tough.
Oh my God.
She's just very different.
I need help. Doctor, Carissa.
We try. My
I'm all
my brother married her to try to help her, and it just hasn't worked.
15 years, Dr. Carissa. And I love my honey so much. And I love Daryl so much. So it doesn't matter. I love him. You can't get rid of me. I love
And we
him.
trying.
Daryl
we're
acts
trying to
like,
help.
wait. Daryl acts like you were some kind of charity case.
No! I married him.
No, I mean, I think she was just born. She was just born different, right? She was born into a different world. Like
Oh my
I
gosh.
think like where Peter Pan lived at. She was
That's
born
where
in
I was
Neverland where
born.
Peter Pan lived at. So like we
You
have to
told him I was a
update her to the
charity
real
case,
world.
girls? Did you tell him I was a charity case?
No, I did
You
not.
said your brother married her to help her.
Oh yeah, he did. He's like, let me help this woman out.
It doesn't matter. It doesn't even. I love Daryl. I love him.
And
It is what it is.
And he's done a little, and we help the. It's tough because we help a little, but it's tough. And she just don't want to learn. But no,
Let's repeat this conversation.
It's so.
Listen, let's make a pact. 15 years from now, let's repeat the same conversation when there's been more understanding about people that want to cut off their limbs.
Okay.
And let's see the
But
idea.
think about it. But this is what's scary about the future is that if we're allowing so much now, what do you think is going to happen 15 years from now, right? Because it's only getting.
But
It
what
seems
we're
like we're getting
allowing is
more
what
and more
people
inclusive.
are. Like, I don't know.
So
I
again,
think that's
exactly.
true.
So what you just said is what it is. That's the issue.
I know,
We're
it just
allowing
kind of
what
goes
people
against
are,
everything that I
and
was
what
just
people
saying.
are. Absolutely. So now we're allowing people to be who they are more and more and more, which is scary because where's that? Like I said, where that line seems like it keeps moving, right? Like I said, if you go back 40, 50 years, you can see the difference in the acceptance of certain things. The acceptance of what we feel is okay and not okay.
So let me ask you, do you accept people being transgender?
Oh, I absolutely. I think people who you are is who you are. But again, I understand the plight of other people who are saying.
But I think, Daryl, you make an important point because until recently, it was thought of as a mental disorder.
Absolutely. Remember, it was in the DSM, 3, I think at the time. It was that
yes.
It was disorder.
Yeah.
Yes, and when they were called hermaphrodites and things of that nature, these were all disorders. And they were trying to. They had even the camps where they were trying to pray away the gay, and a whole bunch of different things where they tried to
pray away the gay.
get that demon out of you. It was just. Well, but again, we know that's not acceptable, right? It's small pockets, but that was more of a movement back then, right?
It's
so
still
what I'm saying is that as we move
it's
forward,
still a movement.
and like you said, the kids are more open, right? Because they're in a more open environment. They're more open than we are. Like you said, when you see somebody, they don't blink an eye at somebody who's trans or a person that says they're pansexual or asexual. They don't blink an eye because it's okay. Like I said, so this generation that's coming out is going to be a lot more free, right? So when they start making rules, they may say it's okay to cut your arm off. They may say it's okay to be a zebra, or a pony.
I think that's,
all those things that we see as fetishes.
There's extremists. That is an extremist statement. I don't feel like that is in line with someone that is transgender. That's an extremist statement.
Amber, I'm telling you. See, listen, this is where I guess where you don't understand. Remember, back at, like I said, 40 years ago, that was a common statement, right? We're a lot different now because we moved. So think about 40 years from now, how much more advanced we'll be and accepting we'll be to different things, right? Before, like I said, even when we talk about being canceled for jokes, there's jokes you could say back in the day that were fine.
Transgender and gay. There's no record.
Who? No, there
of
was
people
none.
wanting to cut their
Who?
limbs off.
There's
unless
no
I'm-
transgender people in the Bible. Listen, Amber, there's no transgender people in the Bible.
I can't
There's
win,
none.
Doctor.
That's false.
Dr. Carissa.
I'm just telling you. You can't because
see.
listen, there's no gay people in the Bible. There's
I
no
don't
gay
know, I
people in the
think
Bible.
we
It's
just
not
have
gonna
to
happen, right?
Wait,
Uh,
where's the
take
camera?
it case by case and embrace it, I guess.
Well, what was happening? Sodom and Gomorrah. Wasn't people just everybody sleeping with everybody?
Doing everything.
Everything.
Yep, everything. Remember, they wanted to have sex with the angels, right? When the angels came, like, get them angels out. We want to have sex with angels, right?
Mhm.
They wanted to do, but at the end of the day, that fell apart because it just was like, it was everything goes there. Any and everything goes. We have to get some, there has to be a point that we say that this is not okay. You know, there has to be a stopping point. But it's tough when we're at the point where everything is okay, where we're accepting of so much, right? And we keep moving the bar. We keep moving it. We keep moving it. And again, within the trans community, I think it's something that was needed because these people feel this way. But then we start getting the feelings, people might start feeling a certain way about certain things, which is tough, you know. So again, not that I'm saying that cutting your arm off is okay or not okay. I'm just saying that it's a movement out there, and it's probably a lot of other movements out there that are going to get more steam as we start allowing more and more things to happen. And it's going to be tough to talk about things because you get canceled so quickly. You know, you get canceled so quickly when you start talking about things, and that's what sometimes becomes scary when you.
Do you think that people interpret the Bible personally, or do you believe that what the Bible says is what everyone agrees and how everyone interprets and agrees that the Bible?
But remember, anything you read, you can interpret anything you read any way you want to interpret it, right? You can interpret anything you want. That's fine. You can interpret anything. There's people out here who have an agenda. First of all, they condone slavery with the Bible. You understand that, right? They interpret it in a way to make it be okay for slavery. So you can take that book and pervert it and make it say things that you want to say, especially if you're cherry picking different things out, right? But that's a whole nother subject. So I don't know why you're switching subject. Stay on topic. Let's stop.
You know what?
What are we doing here? Again, we're gonna cancel you.
How many times do we go off topic on this show, Daryl? Why are you messing with her?
Because she's going to all the topics we stay away from: religion, homosexuality, all the things we stay away from. She goes there.
Oh my goodness!
She can't come back. She can't come back.
All right.
I told her this is the best.
Any last words on cancel culture? It's 10 o'clock. Let's shut it down.
Let's go. Yes, we're going to cancel Amber with a heart and Quiet Elsa with a heart. We're canceling them.
All right, guys. Catch us on the replay.
We're getting rid of them.
Over here.
If you have any topics that you want us to cover, please message me, Daryl, Camp, and we will start talking about it. Okay. I'll talk to you guys. We'll talk to you guys later. Good night.
You won't talk to them ever again.